The Police State, by Walker von Krieg, a John Squill Ministries presentation. Dinesh D'Souza said, "The police state is here. Is it coming for you?" Nearly 40 years ago, I returned to the United States expecting to get my spiritual batteries recharged. After close to a decade in other countries, without seeing home, the culture shock was overwhelming. The America I had left was not the land that I returned to. The place I chose to settle in was carefully chosen. I loved the Florida and Louisiana glades and swamps. Texas had always been a pleasant place for me. Kentucky and Tennessee had a great charm and noble history. Maine, Oregon, and Alaska were all places I had particularly enjoyed in the past. So many states of the USA had significance in my life, and my preferences stretched from sea to shining sea. It was the hope of Christian fellowship that made Georgia my place of choice. Though I had friends in many places in the world, not just the United States, this was the place most appealing to me. It was not perfect, but it did offer feelings of home. The first shock I received was the day I learned my children could no longer ride in the bed of my newly acquired pickup truck. When I was a boy, riding the beds of pickup trucks was a common thing to be seen. When I had last been in the USA, you could order pickup trucks with rear-facing seats mounted in the front of the truck beds. I knew the safety issues, but how many young people had ridden in truck beds unscathed over the years? Then I learned you were not supposed to ride bicycles without protective headgear. I quipped that soon two wheels would be outlawed and only tricycles would be allowed. But I had never worn a helmet on a bicycle. I did not have headgear with my first motorcycle, which I even rode without a license. Helmets came when I moved up to big motorcycles that went much faster than those I first rode. I had gone over the front of bicycles when a child, and clearly, I survived. I also had a job delivering newspapers from a bicycle as a lad, so I must have ridden many a mile without injury. Yes, I had a few crashes, but whether my brains were sheltered seemed to me none of the government's business. Dwelling on these things is my way of telling you how governmental institutions intrude into people's lives bit by bit, using the excuse it is always for your good. My good is my business. The business of government is to ensure I am able to pursue what I see as contributing to what I think my good is. Individualism is not part of the public domain. This year I learned that people who live within the city limits and raise some chickens for eggs are subject to being fined by animal control. I was under the delusion that animal control agencies were established to cut down on dog packs, feral cats, wild animals with rabies, and varmints raiding my chicken coop. At a time when the price of eggs has increased significantly, the last thing needed is an animal control operating to harass the public. These intrusions into the lives of people is how a police state can get started without the populace realizing what is being done to them. Little by little, government pushes itself into the lives and simple freedoms of people until they begin to force themselves into more complex areas. This is certainly not the same America I left behind as I traveled the world in its service and protection. Unfortunately, it has grown worse since I returned home. Now freedom and opportunity, as well as equal protection under the law, are losing their meaning. Too many people are like frogs in a pan of water being boiled alive but not realizing it until it is too late. I plan to elaborate on this in a future report. This has been a John Squill Ministries presentation. To learn more about us, visit our website at johnsquillministries.com. If you are blessed by what we do, please give us a thumbs up and share this video. Also, be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you may know when we post new content.